Hey guys, it's Feeding Frenzy 91, and I'm bringing you a video on the Wii U. Now, recently, the Wii U it was talked about a bonus round, which is if y'all don't know the show, it's on GT or GameTrailers.com. Pretty good show where the host he gets three usually people in the game world to talk about different topics. Now they started with the Wii U. They were talking about whether the Wii Nintendo itself will be talked about during Christmas, right? Now the three panelists were Michael Pachter, um, Garnett Lee, and Michael Werter. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Werter. That's Wertor. Wertor. Mick Wertor. Michael McWertor. Now, those three were supposed to answer whether the Wii U or the Nintendo in general is going to be talked about during December. Now, the first one, Michael McWertor, he answered that he doesn't think so because he didn't say why, but he said he didn't think so. They only have Mario 3D World coming out this term, so we wait till next year for the good games, right? Now, I like that answer because it's true. Will we talk about the Wii U a lot? Probably not. Why? Because the Wii U came out last year. And what's coming out in November 15th to November 22nd? The PS4 and the Xbox One, people. We're going to be talking about those for Christmas time. Why? Because they just came out. The hype is going to be up. For the 3 months, I suspect usually those hype lasts about 3 months where everybody's just talking about those things for 3 months and then they die down. Okay? So that's the right answer. Then Garrett Lee comes up and says Nintendo will just ride the 3DS and Pokemon X, well, the 2DS he actually said, and Pokemon X and Y, right? And like I said in my previous video, that Pokemon X and Y made over 4 million. In one of my previous videos, I said Pokemon X and Y made over 4 million copies sold in the first week. So of course, yes, they're going to be riding that all day, for lack of a better expression. So they had then Michael Pachter comes up, and of course you guys have heard me speak about Michael Pachter. And with him, I think he's anti-Nintendo, just like I've said before. Now the thing about Michael Pachter, he comes up and he doesn't answer the question. Instead, he says nobody's talking about the Wii U. He said it's not that fun of a system, and he said that he doesn't. When anybody talks about the Wii U, they just talk about the software, or Nintendo in general. They just talk about software. They don't talk about the actual system itself being a good system, right? Then the host asks him about Iwata. He says he thinks Iwata's job will Iwata will lose his job, and that he says get your resume ready actually. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, then with me now, Michael Pachter. I know I've talked about this guy before, and really, he really seems anti-Nintendo because, come on, of course no one's going to talk about the Wii U, but Michael Pachter, you didn't answer the question. I'm not telling you how to answer a question, but he literally didn't. The question was, will people talk about the Wii U this fall, not whether the Wii U is going to work out in general. He actually said the Wii U was a misfire by Nintendo. And I'm like, okay, wasn't answering the question there. It's kind of like what most people do when they're asked a question that they have about a topic that they want to talk about, but they don't answer the question. They just go on about a topic because they really want to talk about for a while. And so I just like Michael Pachter. It's just kind of I was like, come on, answer the question, man. And he didn't. He never did. He just went on about the Wii U sucking in a sense. Now about Iwata, I have always respected Iwata, especially after he made that whole gave up his 50% when the 3DS had the problems. He gave 50% of his own paycheck. Now for a vice president, which he was at the time, he's president now. For vice president, which he was at the time, that's a lot of money. Those president types, they make a lot, and those big companies, they make a huge amount of money. Okay, so for him to get 50%, I'd wager to say that's over like 20 regular employees' paychecks combined. So probably more. So I've always respected him for that. Also, I think what he's doing with Nintendo isn't exactly a bad thing. True, he needs to get more advertised out there, get more third party. Even though they're doing pretty good with third party in a sense that they got Batman Origins, Assassin's Creed 3, they got COD coming out for it, Watch Dogs. So they got plenty of stuff coming out for this system this time. So with me for Iwata, I just really think that Iwata should stay there personally. But I mean, I like the Nintendo Directs. They're a way to save money and get stuff out there because over 1 million people do watch them usually each episode. Though it's true they need some actual advertisement in the sense of TV commercials because they need more people to find them out. So really, what Partner really said, I think that was a really big diss, saying that Iwata's not going to last. I mean, that's a take at the guy's job. I know he may think that, but still, just going out right there and saying it, get your resume ready. It's just something. Now, also with the Wii U, what Patner fails to realize is that, all right, Patner basically says, Nintendo is not focusing they kind of misfired with the Wii U, blah blah blah. But to me, Nintendo not bringing out its games till next year is a smart move. Why? Because it wouldn't make sense for Nintendo to bring out its games this year. After November, if Nintendo brings out any game, I think it's just Mario 3D World. Other than that, it doesn't make sense. Not of the major ones, because people aren't going to buy it. Because people just spent $500 on the Xbox One or $400 on the PS4, and probably multiple other hundreds on games for those systems. So really, Nintendo's doing the smart thing. Nintendo's like, listen, we know for November, December, and January that's going to be dominated by Xbox and PS4. That's just common sense. Those companies are just coming out. 3 months is usually the hype. 3 months of hype of where everybody's just buying from those people that just came out. So it doesn't make sense for the Wii U to bring out any major games during that time. It makes sense for them to hold out for Mario Kart, Legend of Zelda, Mario Smash, and Donkey Kong for next year. When people will have more money, the hype of the PS4 and Xbox One have died down most likely, and people can buy Wii U games or Wii U's. So it just it just makes more sense for Nintendo. That's actually a smart move by them, in my opinion. Now I haven't been doing this as long as Pachter has. I wouldn't call myself an analyzer. Pachter gets paid for that. I don't. But really, that's a smart business move by Nintendo. You see, they even moved Donkey Kong Country Freeze, right? They claim it was to make it better, but I think it may be the same thing that I think Ubisoft did with Watch Dogs. I can't say for sure. But I think Ubisoft didn't bring out Watch Dogs this term because they didn't want to compete with the other games, with the other main games. They thought it would be better next term. So I think Nintendo is doing the same thing. They don't bring out Donkey Kong this term because they don't want to compete with all the other games coming out. Because I think Donkey Kong was supposed to come out next month. They don't want to compete with with the systems coming out next month. So they bring it out next year instead, when they don't have to compete with them as brand new systems. So just tell me what you guys think. Do you think Michael Pachter is right that Wii U is not only a bad system, but that Nintendo misfired, that they're just like going down, 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 or do you think that they're making a smart move, waiting for their next year to bring out their good games? Other than that, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. God bless you all.